Hi, I'm Irving, and I'm an Adamaniac.
Batgirl, 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 Batgirl.
Nothing has changed with the weather in the great metropolis of Londinium. It's still clear as glass.
We've been doing that reverse joke about the Londinium fog all through this three-part story, and it's still not funny. Batman just rescued Robin from being crushed by the giant winch that operates the drawbridge over the river, and now they're racing back to the Batmobile where Alfred is waiting.
I think we better get out to Ffogg Place and see what's happened to Batgirl.
Batgirl?
Yes, Alfred heard that she discovered a super-secret cricket pavilion which just might contain the solution to this entire mystery.
She has, and it does.
You two seem to know a lot more about Batgirl than I do.
Well, yeah, you're the leader, so of course everybody knows more than you do. It's that way in every company. Robin knows because he was there. He also knows where Batgirl is being kept, so it's time for a plan. Alfred still has the cab he borrowed from his cousin Cuthbert. Try saying that with a mouthful of bubble gum. So they'll use both cars and try to catch the Foggs by surprise.
Well, Robin, you drive the Batmobile. Let us off at Alfred's cab, go straight to Ffogg Place, and we'll follow.
You bet, Batman. If we disassemble, maybe we can catch the whole gang off guard.
Yeah, if we disassemble ourselves, we can mail ourselves to him bit by bit and sneak in that way.
So young, so pretty, such joie de vivre.
Yes, Marmaduke. It seems a pity that we have to dispose of her, doesn't it?
But dispose of her we must. With Batman and Robin fog-bound into the Tower Bridge, we can now plan our crowning theft, the crown jewel.
The crown jewels? She heard you, Marmaduke.
You're standing 8 feet away from her and talking at normal volume. You think she can hear you? But it won't matter because she's chained up and can't tell anybody, and they're going to kill her, so that'll take care of that. Although, as usual, we don't say kill on this show. We say eliminate. So much more polite. They head upstairs, and Marmaduke leaves Batgirl a nice present before they exit. Those are lethal fog pellets, or poison gas pellets in non-fog speak. To add insult to injury, they apparently play the Batman theme while they're doing their nasty work. Have these people no conscience? Robin pulls up near the gates to Ffogg Place and notices something unusual. I'll bet she keeps an extra Batgirl costume in here. I'm dying to try it on. Nah, Batman and Alfred are coming. They might see me. Maybe another time. The gate's locked, so he finds another way in. Wow, that's an effective gate. No wonder he keeps somebody out there to watch it. He reports what he saw. Peasoup and Ffogg decide to have Lady Prudence handle Robin. We saw that thing the first time Batman and Robin visited. For some reason, his lordship imported some African death bees. One sting and you're dead. That tripwire is like 3 feet long. Only Robin the Boy Wonder could find it that easily and accurately while walking backwards.
Smashing, Robin! You've tripped the wire leading to his lordship's beehive. Released an African death bee. The queen, in fact. She's landing on your hand, Robin.
Heaven forbid he get up and walk away before she gets there, especially since that's probably not the queen. Queen bees virtually never leave the hive. Their job is to lay eggs and lay eggs. That's it. They do have a stinger of sorts, but since she doesn't leave the hive, there's no good reason for it to be there. And if the queen had moved like that, all the workers and drones in the hive would be all over her, even the ones made of felt. Outside, Alfred and Batman pull up and Batman spots the suitcase.
Tempted, sir?
Sorely, Alfred. By opening this suitcase, I might learn Batgirl's true identity.
And thus destroy the anonymity so precious to her. As yours is to you, sir.
The smart thing to do would be to invite Batgirl over to Wayne Manor for lunch, reveal that Bruce and Dick are Batman and Robin, learn who she is, and they can communicate and work together much more effectively. But where's the drama in that?
You go back to the city while I infiltrate Ffogg Place and try to find both her and Robin. Alert Commissioner Gordon and Venerable Ireland Yard as to my whereabouts. Tell them I'll be in touch if I need help. Cheerio.
Cornflake. Batman climbs that same wall in the same place, and the same henchman reports it to the same bad guys.
What? Not dead yet?
No, Lord Ffogg, far from it.
My lethal fog pellets must be stale. They're losing their strength.
Well, I had the girls make up a fresh batch in chemistry class, Marmaduke.
It's nice to know her finishing school is teaching the girls such useful life skills as making poison gas.
Marmaduke, hadn't we better hurry? What with Robin out on the lawn and Batman coming up the drive?
When the death bee stings the boy wonder, he'll be out on the lawn forever. Then Digby, Scudder, and Basil can handle Batman.
Well, they didn't before.
Since that little incident, I've given a severe talking to.
I'm sure that'll boost their fighting skills enough to take on Batman. What else does one need? As they gather the pellets, they hear Batman approaching and hide. According to IMDb, that wasn't supposed to happen. Adam West had virtually no peripheral vision in that cowl, and he really did hit his head on that doorway. It's nice they chose to leave it in. It shows that even Batman has a klutz sometimes.
Batgirl!
No, Batman, don't come down here. Look out behind you, Lord Ffogg!
He didn't hear the door open. He didn't notice the big swath of light that went across Batgirl when the door opened. He didn't feel Penelope behind him. When the newspapers got the story the next day, they dubbed him Captain Clueless. Ffogg and Peasoup throw the new pellets, then exit and lock the door.
Bee stung Robin.
Oh, well, you'd better take him up to the girls' dormitory and let him perish there.
Robin says the perishing part is the important thing. Where doesn't matter.
Courage, Robin. Seconds away, Alfred is forcing the gates of Ffogg Place with an unusual show of strength.
Unusual how? We've seen through all 3 seasons that Alfred is the 3rd member of the team, and he can do just about anything the other 2 can do. And he does it in a more gentlemanly manner, if I may say so. Back at Venerable Ireland Yard, Superintendent Watson and Commissioner Gordon have a rather charming visitor.
I'm sorry to bother you here in Venerable Ireland Yard, Commissioner.
Oh, no bother, Mrs. Cooper. I'm glad you found me.
I'm sure Bruce and Dick are someplace in Londinium, but I haven't been able to locate them. I'm on my way home from my North Cape cruise, and I hope to surprise them.
This would be the last time we saw Aunt Harriet. Madge Blake was seriously ill and was only able to be in 2 episodes this season. Sadly, she didn't last much longer. Her heart gave out a little over a year later. I'm glad she was able to inject a little bit of class into this episode despite everything.
That anti-lethal fog bat spray is working, Batman.
Yes, I always carry some in my utility belt, along with the bat file. Now to get to work on those chains.
He always carries a can of anti-lethal fog bat spray. How often does he use it? And a file? Do you know how long that's going to take? Why don't you use your laser cutting torch? That seems to have gone the way of all things.
You're not dying, Robin.
I was down to my last African death bee antidote pill, but I popped it in my mouth and I'm fine.
Batman carries anti-lethal fog spray and Robin carries death bee antidote pills.
Oh, you do bend my mind. I'm launched.
Were you ape and launched when you waylaid me on that dock? When you shanghaied me and brought me back here? When you knew I was being tied to a winch in Tower Bridge?
Merely scholastic exercises, boy wonder.
They're required projects for our Kidnapping and Murder 201 course. Poor Robin, 5 beautiful girls all over him, and he has no idea why or what to do about it. Commissioner Gordon is trying to find Barbara. Lady Peasoup had talked about offering her a position at the school, but nobody's seen her in quite a while. He says something's not right. I'm coming out there.
Tell the girls to bury Robin where the afterglass lawn is thickest. No one will ever find Batman or Batgirl in that dungeon. And we're home free as soon as we get the crown jewels.
Don't bet on it. The real brains of the operation now knows what you're doing, where everybody is, and what he's going to do about it. Alfred to the rescue once again.
I have a strange feeling that the authorities are beginning to get suspicious of us, Marmaduke.
Getting suspicious of us is one thing, and getting us is another. Our private plane is being refueled right now. And Argentuela has no extradition treaty with this country.
I've known people from both Argentina and Venezuela. I don't think either of them would appreciate Argenzuela. Instead of conflating real names like that, just make up something new like they'll do in a few years for Wonder Woman. Lady Prudence rushes in.
Robin got away, Governor. He jumped out of the window of the girls' dormitory.
Dead?
He wasn't dead. He took some sort of bee sting pill. Isn't that the most?
You can tell she's really on board with this kill Robin thing. Well, as long as she gets to spend some alone time with him first. We see first Alfred, then Robin run out the driveway, apparently unaware of each other. Batman is trying to break the dungeon door without success.
Just as I suspected, the dungeon door is made of solid oak. I can't break through it.
You should have several gadgets in your utility belt that can destroy the lock and let you out. What happened to all that stuff?
If we could only reach that grating up there.
Your batarang?
I left it in the Batmobile. If we only had a length of rope.
We haven't seen the bat rope since forever either. Did he leave that in the Batmobile with the Batarang?
Here's some rope, Batman.
As usual, the guy comes unprepared and the woman has to save his bacon. And I've seen this next part too many times, so I'm going to close my eyes for a little bit.
But how can you get it to the grating without your batarang?
By using the old Indian rope trick, I mastered it years ago.
Just like the lethal fog spray he knew he'd needed on this trip.
How can I help?
By standing directly under that grating
And when it falls down, you catch it.
and concentrating on the Indian fakir command. Rasi, Sidha, Rako. Hindi for rope, stay straight. Rusi.
Wait, he told her it was Rossi. I'd bet they're two different words. If Batgirl starts to rise up in the air, we'll know what Rusi means.
Sidha, Rako.
Happens every time he gets around her. Robin and Alfred meet at the Batmobile. Alfred tells Robin everything he heard, including where Batman and Batgirl are.
I'll get back there. You get on the Batmobile's Batphone.
Good.
It'll be easier this time because Ffogg and crew have all left for the Tower of Londinium.
It worked.
Yes, there's more to old Indian fakir tricks than one might suspect.
And concentration, magnified by the power of yoga?
Batman, Batgirl, how did you get out of that dungeon?
Rase Sida Rako.
Holy levitation!
The rope's doing it again.
Yes, I better reverse the incantation. Rako Sida Rasi.
Next, he said, Traguna Macoides Tricorum Satis D. The rope took off to the Tower of Londinium and captured the whole crew by itself.
Here we are, girls. The crown jewels. Aren't they magnificent?
I'm sorry, but it's past closing.
Past closing to me, Lord Ffogg of Hoggshire. I'll take that halberd.
But not the crown jewels, Lord Ffogg.
It's fight time. But where's Batgirl? He'll do that twice, and it's still funny both times. But I repeat, where's Batgirl?
I think we get it split, Lady Peasoup.
Indeed, Prudence.
Batgirl.
Batgirl?
Why do we always have to do that? And why is Robin surprised? Didn't she come with them? It's time for Lord Ffogg to do his thing.
My pipe of fog bat reverser, your lordship.
He always carries it because it seems like every other crook on the street has... He always carries it because it seems like every other crook... He always carries it because it seems like every other crook on the street has a pipe of fog. I can't do this.
I wish I had time to explain, Robin. I've been very naughty. I thought if I could play all sides against each other, I would come out on top and be her ladyship of Ffogg Place alone. But it didn't work.
No, Lady Prudence, it didn't. But cheerio.
Cornflake. In good British fashion, or Londiniumite fashion, or whatever you want to call it, the superintendent declares it's time for a cup of tea.
Will you join us, Batgirl? She's gone.
Batgirl? I just passed her outside in the fog. She was on her Batgirl cycle.
Barbara, where have you been? I've been so worried. And what are you doing in this bloody tower?
Bloody tower is right, Daddy. I'll explain later, or at least I'll try to.
No, she won't. She'll distract him by pointing out something in the crown jewels and get his mind on a different subject, so she never has to. She's good at that. In the epilogue, we're back in Gotham City, and the president has just invited Batman to a weekend at his Texas ranch as thanks for helping out in Londinium. Of course, Batman declines.
Some very feline character just breezed in here and stole all the policewoman's new mini uniforms you were to approve.
Some feline character. Could it be Catwoman back again?
Let's take a look. The Cape Crusaders will try to head her off, Bonnie.
Just 1 minute, Catwoman.
The nerve of her! Invading police headquarters.
And we're set up for next week. As I've mentioned before, when I saw Eartha Kitt as Catwoman, my brain just said no, and I didn't really give her a chance. That was then. Now let's see what she brings to the part and how well she does it. Batman has had ad hoc gadgets before. One of the running gags here on Adamania is, since it's the precise gadget we need right now, of course we have it. But 3 in 1 episode is too much. I won't even address the fake bee or all the pseudoscience. The most interesting thing to me about this episode trio is what the actors said about them later. Everyone agreed that Glynnis Johns was a delightful lady who got along with everybody. Rudy Vallee was just the opposite. Yvonne Craig called the shooting time 3 weeks of sheer hell, and it was all because he was such a prima donna. And the characters leave me a little puzzled because they're already filthy rich and idle and having a care in the world. So why are they stealing this stuff? What do they plan to do with it? Just display it there at that room so they can look at it and say, look what we did? And are they taking the whole mess to Argenzuela or what? Most of what they do doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. And I really wonder why we're going so minimalist on the basic bat gadgets like the Batarang, bat rope, and laser cutting torch. He has a fog pipe reverser, but not the basic bat rope that's been a staple since the premiere. He has a special spray for lethal fog, but not a laser to cut through a door locker Batgirl's chains. Yet, when King Tut was about to feed Robin to the crocodiles, Batman had a dual laser that took out 2 iron bars at once. Did he leave it on the charger at home, or what? It seems like we've dispensed with the multi-purpose gadgets and everything is super specialized now. And as we saw, unless you have a woman with a rope and the power of yoga, that could leave you in a world of hurt. I'm Irving, and I'm an Adamaniac.